so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome. If you're new here, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to be specifically focusing on what Biden's low popularity means for the country and his policy going forward. And that also includes the Republican chances of taking back the midterms and potentially the presidency in 2024. If you have questions, please put them in the live chat. Also in the comment section below, don't forget to like, subscribe, and interact with this video. It's going to help spread awareness about our channel if you would like to be able to bring some sort of awareness. So, I'm not going to waste your time. This is being live streamed on November 5th, 2021 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just want to let you guys know that this will be our last, or if not, a very few last live videos, as I will no longer be participating in any lives. A lot of them will be taken and uploaded. Previously, I just finally got a job for the first time in almost 2 years, so I will be working, so everything will just have to be uploaded. So please interact with the video content, put your questions and stuff like that. You can also submit it onto my website if you have not already. Okay, so here's some quick disclaimer. Please keep in mind this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. I noticed that sometimes when I say things, a lot of you guys have a tendency to lash out because you're upset that you don't like to hear what I'm telling you. I just want you to know that what I'm telling you today may or may not make you angry. Please don't take that out on me. I'm just telling you what I see in the cards, and that's it. Okay, I'm not going to try to be biased to help you feel better. That's not my job. That's your job. My job is to give you the information. How you perceive and how you react, that's entirely up to you. So at the end of this video, I do want to quickly say I finally got some brand new messages and different things you have to trade. And we also have the bell. And so at the end of the video, you're going to get messages from the spirit guide on what you need to focus on today and going forward, the main lesson in life. So of course, wait for that at the end of the video. I highly recommend it. You're going to love it. The question that we're going to cover today is where will President Biden be in 6 months, according to the approval? We're going to talk about will Biden be able to enact any major policy legislation? Will there be any major shift of support to the Democratic Party, or will it trend towards the Republicans as it's currently going as of right now? Can the President Biden rebound his low approval numbers? What kind of effects will his approval have on the 2022 midterm election? And lastly, but not the least, if President Biden ran again for re-election, will he win in 2024 if he was to do a rematch? So let's take a look. I know a lot of you guys messaged me. Hi, Paula. Hi, Sakin. Happy Friday, everybody. Hi, Simply Songbird. Thank you. Thank you for my congratulations. Yeah, the job market is extremely hard. I walked into the store. I highly recommend you do this. Walk into the store to say, hey, listen, I'm looking for a job. I need an interview. You want to interview me and you're looking for workers? Interview me right now. And then you get the job because then you don't have to wait that long period. So I got the job within the same day of shopping there. So try that out and see if it works. All right, so let's talk about where will President Biden be in 6 months according to approval. So let's take a look. Okay. So Spirit Sayings will tell me where will President Biden be in terms of approval numbers in 6 months from now? Will he be above 50% or will he still maintain below 50%? Okay, so here's what I see here for President Biden. I see unpopularity is still going to persist for the President of the United States. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 of cups. And what this tells me here is that there's going to be a lot of major things that's going to occur within the next 6 months that Biden will have to deal with. There's going to be 6 major things. He's already dealing with election fraud in the country claimed about that. He's already dealing with the coronavirus. He's already dealing with national terrorists in the United States, Afghanistan, and you name it. Also the economy. There's going to be a few more that's going to come that will shake Biden whether or not he is the right leader for the United States at the time, right? There's no such thing as a bad leader. Just the time in which they rise will determine whether or not they're good or not. We have the 10 of Wands reversed. And what this tells me here is something very interesting, because it tells me here that he's not going to be very disapproved as he is currently now, but he won't be approved as well. I do feel like he's going to maintain the numbers where he is now. If even so, I see him hovering around 43% to 45% in terms of approval numbers. So it's right around where he is currently today. However, he won't make it up to the 50s. I feel like he's going to be below 50%, at least within the next 6 months. That can indeed change because, public opinion can indeed change based on events that occur within the United States. But anything major, I feel like he's not going to be as approved of, particularly because maybe misinformation is spreading within the United States. At the bottom of the deck here, we have the 3 of Swords. I feel like the way Biden handles 3 of these 7 major events that occur will determine and will be able to determine whether or not he will only win re-election and whether or not his party will succeed in the upcoming election next year. So he has to succeed really well and do exponentially and get approval numbers from the Republican. That's the only way he's going to win. And he also needs independents. A lot of independents have moved away from the Democratic Party and went to the Republican. That's why we have almost a Republican governor in New Jersey and in Virginia. So now, quickly before we do begin, if you're wondering why I'm covering this content, I think it was very interesting that we do talk about this. So as you see here, we have Biden's approval numbers as of now, right? We have Biden's approval at 42.9%. Now, this is among all registered voters as of today. This is all polled. Now, if I were to put it as of people who are likely to vote, Biden currently approval will be stand at 43.2%. To the disapproval currently standing at 50.7%. As you see here at this mark, right where he's about to lose in terms of approval rating, is that it starts to drop on August 24th, 2021, right around where Afghanistan pullout really happened. And that's when the drop in approval rating had occurred. And ever since then, Biden has been getting more in terms of margin-wise, in terms of disapproval to approval. Right now, in terms of every president, this has occurred except Donald Trump, where this is known as the honeymoon period, where the president is currently approved until something major happens, then it becomes a disapproval. Just in this case, Afghanistan was one of those. And as you all remember, I may have mentioned back, or you may have recalled when I mentioned that Joe Biden would be considered a Jimmy Carter type president, is that people will understand why he did what he did until much later on. Like it needs time, patience, so to speak, in order to understand Biden and truly his own nature. So, will President Biden be able to enact any major policy legislation? Because of low approval numbers, if you have low approval numbers, that means it's going to give a lot of leeway for like senators like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema to not vote on popular legislation just because the president is tied to those legislation. Therefore, they don't want to lose, which means that you have less support, not only within the American public, but also with the people, which also dives down your popularity. So that is why that is major, and that's why this is a question. Will President Biden be able to enact any major policy legislation within the next 3 years? Okay, I heard him at you. Infrastructure is going to be a big one. All right, so we have here is that Biden is going to try to enact healthcare and voting rights, but he's going to fail. And now in the previous past, I said that President Biden is going to be seen as an FDR type candidate and that he was going to be very popular. That was then. That was a year ago. Today, a year later, that's completely changed. We have here that Biden is kind of put on the back burner voting rights and a lot of the major issues, particularly relating to the criminal justice reform and stuff like that, are in the back burner. And that's where majority of his support came from in 2020. So the fact that he's putting this on the back burner will basically spell doom in terms of support in 2024. That if he's looking to rerun for another election, he may not have the support and the backing for those who have this as their top priority for those voters. We have here as well, we have the King of Cups. President Biden is going to be able to create a platform, particularly, I'm not sure what type of platform, but he is going to create a platform, particularly whether or not it's for those who are voiceless. This could also be a platform, a physical platform, such as infrastructure, and that things would be a little bit more sturdy, even in the times of natural disaster. So I do feel like Biden will be known as the climate change president, very similar to the way Al Gore would have been had he won in 2000. We have the Queen of Wands in reversal. We have here that if President Biden does not pass any major legislation, I don't see him getting the support of women, particularly white women and black women. I don't see a lot of black women supporting President Biden on certain legislation if he does not pass what they voted him in for. And because of that, President Biden only won in the state of Georgia and Arizona because on the backing of women. Women were the main component and the main key to President Biden's victory. Otherwise, Donald Trump would have won. And that's why Biden needs to pass legislation relating to women's rights. If he does not do that, I do see a major failure here, and not because of that, he's going to lose. As of now, with the current energies, as of right now, we have 3 more years for him to fix this. We do have here foreign policy initiative. I do see him not being proved very well of when it comes to foreign policy. I do see like that's going to be a major issue for a lot of Americans. This could also be relating to immigration as well. So he needs to really step up his game and start getting legislation to be passed and try to bypass Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. Those are obstacles, but President Biden needs to find a way around them because clearly they are dysfunctional. Hello, Julie. Yes, I got a job. I got a job working as retail. So I am working at 5 and below. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And what this tells me here is that in order for Biden to change the current trajectory, is he needs to turn the wheels back. He needs to go back to the time of 2020 and start reiterating those promises that he gave the American people and start saying, I'm going to bring them back. I'm going to start going back. As of now, I feel like Biden in some way has been so stressed out that he lost what it means to be a president, what it means to be a Democratic president for the people. I feel like after a while, Trump wasn't seen as much of a threat because he's no longer in the White House. That kind of feels like what in the card that Biden lost the message. He lost the core value that he promised the people to promise. And that if he goes empty-handed, he won't do well. I can tell you that almost with full guarantee. And we have here the Magician. If Biden was to do something really good and he was to do his best policy initiative, will be the economy. Biden will do extremely well for the economy, almost like what we've seen with Bill Clinton. He will do extremely well with an economic boom like we have never experienced before. But that is entirely untapped territory. If Biden does not tap it, he will not receive it. But that is up to him. He has the ability to create it. He has the ability to create everything that's occurred. So if Biden loses or Biden, maintains low approval numbers, that's because of Biden's fault. Because Biden, as we see in the tarot cards, it's all up to him. He is the one who will determine everything, not Joe Manchin, not Kristen Sinema. He has the power. The question is, what does he realize then? That's another thing. Because, the mindset of like, oh, well, this is the typical, it's common that, presidents lose in Virginia on the first year of a president being elected. But his mindset is always negative. If you think about it, Biden's mindset is negative. Oh, thank you, Julie. Yeah, they love me. I was like, they're like, oh, you sound like the perfect employee. Hi, Paulette. What's up, love? Okay, so let's talk. Will there be any major shift of support to the Democratic Party or will it turn to the Republican? The reason why this is very interesting is that in my tarot cards lately, when covering the midterms, in the 2022 midterm, in terms of the House and the Senate, I am projecting as of now, twice in 2 months, since September, my cards kept showing a Republican victory both in the House and the Senate. And so let's ask, Will there be any major shift of support? And by that, I mean like a political seismic shift of some sort, potentially war. War will get the backing people to back the president, no matter whether or not they approve of his job. Or even another thing as well is the economy soaring and stuff like that. People getting jobs, people being happy, high standard of living, support from those type of things will get Biden to where he needs to be. So the question is, will it happen? Will there be any major shift or political seismic shift within the political spectrum within the United States that will be in more favor of the Democratic Party? Yes or no? If we have a major arcana and it's a positive major arcana, it's a yes. If it's a negative major arcana, it's a no. But if it's reverse and it's a no card, it's the yes. And vice versa for the other. I'll explain. Okay. All right, so we have a yes. This would have been a no, but because it's a negative card, but it's reverse, it's a yes. So I am projecting to yes, the Democrats will have a major shift of support toward their political party. So I do see that here. I do see that. Now, the question that remains after that, will they seize upon that popularity and get things done? Okay, so we have the Sun card here. They're going to be in the spotlight, but they're going to try to get things done behind the scenes. Okay. And it feels like this is going to occur sometime before the midterm election. I do feel like when this happens, this is going to occur before the midterm election. So, again, when I would open up the video, I talked about the next 6 months. The next 6 months, we still have 6 months after that before the election. So, within that month, at the end of next year, toward the last 6 months of next year, I do see that there's going to be a seismic shift in support of the Democrats. But the question that remains is, will they seize an opportunity upon it? It's an opportunity for them to make advancement. We have here election day, people making a decision. It's reverse. We also have here voting rights. If they get voting rights done, this will be monumental for the Democratic Party. And it will give them the support they need, the energy they need to go get people to the polls. And if they do that, there will be a sense of balance. They will now be able to compete with the Republicans in the midterm. And because of that, there might actually be a blue spill, which potentially does not mean a blue wave. Doesn't mean they're going to win by massive numbers. It could be like they hold on, or they might increase their numbers narrowly. They might just win by 10 more seats than they have now. So they might win by 222, for example. No, they might win with 232, for example. That's 10 more seats. So that's what I would call a blue spell. It's not big, it's not the major, but nonetheless, it's something to celebrate. That is right. That is true, yes. We're hoping to gain a Democratic senator here in Wisconsin to replace Ron Johnson. Yeah, he made a pledge in 2016 that it was going to be his last election, and now he's running again. So let's see how the voters there feel about that. I will actually, as the time goes on, I'm actually going to do a review on all the Senate races once everything been confirmed. Okay, so next question. Can President Biden rebound from his low approval numbers? We already kind of answered the question, but we never answered it directly. Can President Biden rebound from his approval numbers? Yes or no? If the major card is a positive card and it's upright, it's a yes. If it's the reverse, it's a no. Now, if this is a negative card, this is a negative card. If it's upright, it's a no. And if it's reversed, it's a yes. Okay? Okay, we have, this is kind of like a maybe card. I don't know what the card would be. So we're just going to ask for one more. It's funny how the major kind of comes up. I feel like this is the approval number. I feel like we're going to keep this card. We're not going to take any more. What we're talking about here, we're talking about, can President Biden rebound his low approval numbers? Right? We have here the leader, who is the angel, and here are the people who support him. The thing is that Biden needs to engage his voters and gain popularity by talking about the policy before enacting it. Get popularity on your side. Doesn't matter if you're a popular president, because you know what? If you have the people are wanting it, the senators and the representatives are going to have to side with the legislation. So therefore, even with that as a worst case scenario, it's going to increase your popularity in some way or some form. thing is, that's what Biden needs to do. So yes, he can increase his popularity. So he just needs to do that. That's all that he has to do. Oh, really? Oh, well, I guess it's better not to respond in the way Trump did, right? Okay, what kind of effects will President Biden's approval have on the 2022 midterm election? Okay, we have this card again. We have the judgment card. So here's the approval card, right? So this is what it's talking about the last 6 months of next year, right? That's going to be the very key component. What Biden does within those 6 months are going to be the most crucial to the campaign, crucial to the Democratic Party. So yes, I do feel like his approval rating is going to be massive within the next election. Not but massive in terms of numbers, but massive in terms of him having a lot of influence in that election. Okay, we have a lot of major economists here, which is shocking. Okay, so we have to hear the midterm election, right? It's coming and whatnot. Biden right now is within the 40s, right? This is where he is right as of now, right? People are saying his political future is dead and there's no way for him to rebound back. Well, that is just fear talk and there's nonsense. That's not true. Biden can bounce back. We obviously said that with the tower card, right? And you see here, this person laying down with one sword. Okay, one sword, one bad negative polar number is not going to hurt you. You have 4 more swords that you can fight with, right? We have the Hermit card, and that's for bird. And this kind of tells me unpredictability, right? You'll be in the darkness. You don't know where to go, where to hide. And what it tells me here is that President Biden will have a major effect. But the question is it going to be positive or is it going to be negative? That remains up to the voters, right? And who comes out and vote and who's engaged in the election, right? We have the Emperor card. And this is interesting because what this Emperor card tells me is that there's going to be some sort of seismic change, just understanding that this is not the president's fault in some way. I don't know why, but I feel like in some way there's going to be a major issue. There's going to be a realignment in terms of the mindset of the way Americans think. And instead, they're not going to blame the person in the top position. Instead, they're going to start blaming the people within the Senate and the House and start removing those people instead of just blaming and putting all the blame on the president as that's the easiest target. Then we have here as well, we have the Two of Pentacles, right? This is all going to occur again before the election day, before the midterm election. And that's the timeline. This is the time frame, right? And we have here, I don't feel like the Democrats are going to be as poor in terms of Biden's approval numbers as he currently stands today. I do see that maybe potentially within the next 7 months or even 8 months, Biden's approval numbers are going to start to tick up just before the midterm election, which is going to have a massive effect on the Democratic ability to maintain control of the Senate and the House. So let's take a look at the next question. So what do you guys think of today's video so far? I know it's a little bit different than what you're used to. Okay, Spirit Sayings will tell me. This is our last question, and I'm going to do some messages for you. If President Biden was to run again for re-election in 2024, will he win? There's a plain old yes or no. As of now, will President Biden on track to win the next election, presidential election? Okay. We have the presidency. Right, this is my presidency card, the president. We have here right now, he's in a mental dilemma. He had a lot of bad things going his way. Nothing good seems to come out of it. However, the hardship will eventually end, which is why this card is reversed. What it tells me here that a lot of those things are either going to be solved or people are going to forget about what had happened. So what is important now in this year is not going to be important in the next 3 years. And therefore, that's going to have a major effect. We have hit a moon. And what this is telling me here as of now is that this is a Scorpio. Well, a lobster source more so. But what this is telling me here is that when there's a Scorpio moon, we're going to know who the winner is. I don't know what that means, but that is what I'm seeing. When there's a Scorpio moon, we're going to know who the election winner is. So as of right now, it won't tell me, it won't specify whether or not President Biden will win in 2024. That is up for us to determine, but more so, whether or not who makes the final decision on the Scorpio moon. I don't know if there's even going to be a Scorpio moon. That's what I just got. Hi, Doris. What's up, love? Yeah, there's a lot of info for sure. All right, so we're going to get to the fun part of today's video. I know that you guys, sometimes you've been feeling overwhelmed. You don't understand what your spirit guides are saying to you. So don't worry. I have a brand new thing. I spent a lot of time today creating that. So I want to show you it. So we have these nice little Christmas trees and little like messages inside. I took the liberty of searching online. Took me about 2 or 3 hours to go find the right messages that I feel really drawn to that you guys need to hear. Now, some of these may have 2 messages in one, and some may have 3. And the reason for that is if there's 2, I'm going to take one more, and there's going to be 4 messages or even 5 messages total. And what you're going to do is you're going to close your eyes. You're going to ask your guys, you're going to pause the video, and you're going to ask them what messages you need to hear right now, or what you need to get forward, what you need to start thinking of. Your mindset things need to change, what you need to hear. You can pick more than one, of course. So let's take a look. Let's see. Okay. Okay, we got a tree and a bell. Now, I do hope these do resonate with you. I spent a lot of time on it, so please tell me if they do or don't. Okay, so let's take a look. Yeah, so we already have 3 so far. Yeah, we have 3 messages so far. It'd be fun if we have 6. All right, we have 6. So you guys can pick 2 if you want. You can pick 1, whatever you feel drawn to. Thank you, Julie. That's so sweet. Thank you, honestly. Yes, Paula, President Biden is a Scorpio. If anybody has emailed me, I will be getting back to you. I've been getting hit with some of the spam emails. I have to delete so many, and then I'm going to be answering people. Okay, so for the first one, we have message 1, message 2, message 3, message 4, message 5, and message 6. You can pause the video if you need more time. Of course, we're going to jump into it. So the first message you have here, thank you, Julie, for your donation. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. Okay, so if you have chosen number 1, your message is you are exactly where you are meant to be. So if you were thinking something, whatever the first thing that came to your mind when I read this to you, this is the time for your spirit guides that you don't need to be worried. You don't need to be, scared about what's to come, because you are exactly where you are supposed to be. There's nothing else that I can say about that. It's just straight up, your spirit guides telling you exactly what's supposed to happen for you. Now, for those of you guys who have chosen the second message, this oh, okay, excuse me. Oopsie. Don't wait for someone to give you advice. Tell yourself what you need to hear right now. I want you to take this moment and ask yourself, what do I need to tell myself that I have not been listening to myself about? Take the time right now. Do it. I dare you. Okay. I hope the message that you're giving yourself is something that you need to hear. Yes, I agree, Julie. I agree. Actually, believe it or not, I will be opening. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I'm doing a Thanksgiving donation thing soon where you guys can donate, and I will be donating as well. And I'll make a live video of me shopping with the money that we donate, and then I'll take them to the church or whatever is needed where they need food, and we're going to give it to a family in need. So you guys are going to see your money be physically given to people. Okay, so the message for those who have chosen message 3, even if you hear a bad story about me, understand that there was a time I was good to those people, but they wouldn't tell you that. This is interesting. Interesting that this message came up for you, message 3. What is this telling me here? That whoever the first person that came up in your mind, this is about. I'm also feeling for some of you guys as well, this may be relating to religion for some of you. Some of you, this is relating to a partner, particularly in romance. I am sensing. But there is something that, you may be seeing bad things or you're wondering whether or not this individual is doing right for you. You have to ask yourself, all those rumors that you hear, even though they may be true, does that define the individual that you're talking about? right? You have to ask yourself, if that was me and I just did one bad thing, even though I've been a good person, I donated and volunteered for everything, do I have the right to be penalized? And the answer will be no, because you are human. So you have to ask yourself, they're human too. Tell yourself that. For those of you guys who have chosen message 4, this is your message. It's not the load that breaks you down. It's the way that you carry it. So if you have been wondering and you've been asking the spirit guys, well, why have everything going so bad for me? Why is it that I feel so stressed out? Why do I have massive anxiety? Why do I have depression? Or why do I feel sad all the time? Why am I eating the way I am? Maybe why I'm, there's so many things that this could relate to. It's because it's not the problem, it's the way that you put it on your shoulder. And the reason why you have those type of issues is that you get in this mindset of overthinking. And when you overthink, you're unable to think clearly. Just because you think, it doesn't mean you're thinking clearly. Stop clouding your mind, and you'll be able to see clarity. For those of you guys who've chosen message 5, I'm glad it makes sense to you, Simply Songbird. I hope it resonates with you. If you chosen pile number message 5, this is yours. If you don't know where you want to go, then it doesn't matter what path you take. Alice in Wonderland. This is very interesting because it feels like as if for some of you who have chosen pile number 5, it's telling me here that you're asking yourself, well, I don't know what my life purpose is, but I'm afraid of what could be. Well, part of the thing is that the journey, it doesn't always mean that you have to know where you're going. But it says here that you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you want to be. So just allow yourself to enjoy life and just let it flow wherever you want to go, and just be willing to take and walk whatever path it directs you to. And when you do that, you'll find your purpose. And for those of you guys, the last message, for those of you who have chosen message number 6, you have here is, just wanted to let you know I miss you dearly. I love you, and I hope we can catch up soon. The person who came up in your mind first is the person that this is from. Okay? I feel like for some of you guys, this is a dead relative. I'm seeing a woman, an old woman, particularly a grandma or a mother-like figure. Then I'm also seeing as well, for some of you guys, this might be a partner. All right. So I hope you guys do enjoy that. I hope you find it that it resonates with you, that it gives you some sense of clarity. Whether or not you like this, please let me know if you feel like this is something that you resonate with. Okay. I love you guys. Let me know if you do like them. I'll continue them. It's kind of like Easter egg messages, but a little bit different. I decided to change up the message in a bit. All right, guys. I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a very wonderful night. Peace out, my babies. Oh, you thought of a dead relative? Well, I hope that message brought you some sense of calmness and clarity. Okay? I love you guys. Bye.